Last week, 9 entrepreneurs took business strategy to the streets of Joburg when they faced their pop-up challenge. The entrepreneurs had just 2 days to create, market, and implement a new business. Macy and Bulelwa from the Green team both came up for review. Ezra and his board felt that Bulelwa's business strategy failed to pop. She did not get the big break and had to go home. Meanwhile, Lebohang shone in the challenge and the judges named him the blue chip. He goes into the challenge this week with a confidence boost and added advantages. 8 entrepreneurs are one step closer to the incredible grand prize, a 5 million rand investment into their business. But there's still a long way to go and only one of them can be a winner. Only one will have a shot at the big break.
Business ideas and opportunities are everywhere, but it takes a certain kind of person to spot them. It takes an entrepreneur, someone who can recognize an opportunity and turn it into a successful business. South Africa needs world-class entrepreneurs. The Big Break Legacy is going to find one. From thousands of hopefuls, 12 of the country's finest entrepreneurs made it through. From all walks of life, from all parts of the country, all with one thing in common: the drive and ambition to convince our 4 board members that they should be the winner of the 5 million rand investment prize. The Big Break Legacy.
Every business has to start somewhere. Some of the biggest businesses in the world started off in back rooms and garages. But what does it take to get ideas from bedrooms to boardrooms? A great product is a great start, but to really hit it big, small businesses need financial help to kickstart their growth, as our entrepreneurs are about to find out. I'm Masachaba Lekalake. Welcome to the Big Break Legacy.
This week's entrepreneurial skill, DTR challenge, getting the business model ready for funding. The challenge for our team is to take a young entrepreneur's idea and create an innovative and sustainable business model.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
To today's challenge, again, we will divide you guys into 2 teams and you will be assigned with 2 entrepreneurs. Your task is to assist these entrepreneurs to bring these ideas into fruition. Spend some time with them, get to understand the businesses. Are we clear on that, guys? Okay. I'm now going to ask the blue chip to come forward. Lebo, you were the blue chip last time.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We've selected a team for you. So you don't have the luxury of choosing a team. As an entrepreneur, you have to be able to work with different people to make things work.
For sure.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And you will be working in your team with Graham Rao,
Okay.
Sebenzele Kumalo,
Yes, sir.
and Macy Nkosi.
No problem.
I always feel good to work with any team that I'm with. As long as I can be given the chance to hoy my ideas, then I'm fine.
What color would you like your team to be?
Orange.
Orange? So you guys are team orange.
Yeah, the makeup of the team, I mean, obviously I love working with Lebo, to be honest. You know, the guy, he's a true entrepreneur. He's got awesome skills, and on top of that, he's a great guy. So I always enjoy spending time with him.
You have the first choice to decide as to which entrepreneur you want to work with and which business idea you'd want to work with.
Okay.
Again, we're not sending you out there all alone. We've got some resources that will assist you to meet the challenge. Each one of you would be given a Chevrolet utility vehicle, cell phones, of course, and a laptop. Any questions?
Ezra, so the final assessment will be based on a presentation at the end of the task?
Final assessment will be based on your ability to have created or assisted these entrepreneurs to create a viable business.
What exactly is the time scale?
You have half a day to interact with the entrepreneurs, so you can ask them questions, you can interrogate their business idea. You've got tomorrow to fine-tune the business model. After this, you are going to go and spend time with the entrepreneur and then go into your planning session and then come back and present to us what your plan is.
2 young entrepreneurs with good viable ideas have been selected. Our contestants will have a short session to get to understand what their business is.
Hi guys, my name is Thabo Isaac Serame. I come from a business called Eardrums Productions. We incorporate both media and academia as a business. And basically, we did a project called Headcount, which encompasses a bit of both. But I believe I'll get a chance to explain it further to you guys. Thank you.
Hi, and my name is Kenelo Mtwene, and I'm an events coordinator. Basically, we do anything from weddings, graduation parties, corporate functions, trips, you name it, we do it for you.
Just a simple question. Why do you guys need funding?
Okay, for now we came up with a business concept. Basically, this business concept is us creating a magazine. It's basically like a career guidance manual for pupils, right? It includes bursary opportunities, it includes learnership, scholarships, knowledge about the different fields of study.
Okay, basically, we need funding because I'm trying to grow the subsections of my business. Like in terms of catering, I want to make sure that it has all the necessary equipment.
Are you guys willing to work hard?
Definitely. With me, it's a matter of I cannot sleep until I know perfectly well that the function will be successful.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
All right, Lebohang, as the blue chip individual, you have the advantage of choosing which entrepreneur your team will work with. Who have you chosen?
Both of them, they've got unique business ideas and they've got passion for what they're doing. And we were told that, there's a shortage of ladies entrepreneurs. We'll give her a chance to be in our team to try to help Kenelo with her plan and try to assist her to guide her for the right path.
All right, fantastic. Well, Kenelo, meet your new team.
Nilwe is chosen by the orange team. Thabo is assigned to the green team. City time. The entrepreneurs will have to go through the needs of the young business people and establish what the unique selling proposition is. Teams now have to spend time with their respective young entrepreneurs, creating a business model that will make their dreams come true.
Give me the reason why I should invest. Just one line.
One line, wow.
Thabo is bright, but has a lot going on in his head, so it's a struggle just to get him to focus on that one item.
Who are you?
Eardrums Productions.
What are you selling?
Magazine.
To fulfill what need?
Accessibility of information.
On careers.
On careers.
To who?
To pupils and parents.
Okay, and how are you going to make the money?
Sell it to the education department.
Okay, are you comfortable with that? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
With events coordinating, it's like where I want to see it is actually organizing more events other than the ones that I've mentioned. I do not want to be restricted to specific things. Like I don't want to be restricted to weddings. I don't want to be restricted to corporate functions. Anyone can come and propose and say, I want X, Y, and Z.
There's a lot of people who do eventing. So the thing for us is to say, what are your unique passions and what's really special about you, and how can we turn that into a business that's unbeatable? So that's the exciting thing for me, is to really get that right.
What format is your magazine in? Have you got your designers, have you got your photographers, your writers? What resources do you have so far?
Okay, thus far, because our business, as I said, it's both in the media and academia. So human labor would be us getting journalism students from Wits University.
So we don't have writers, you're going to use students?
Yeah.
All right.
Just tell us about that corporate, what is it exactly that you want to do in corporate, so that we then give you an action plan, So yeah, just take us through that process, then we can then work on the action plan, and then for us guys, we'll have something to present to the board.
Teams may believe they have great ideas, but they'll have to convince Ezra and the board. Each team will have 1 minute to present their idea.
Hello guys.
Hi.
We meet again. You know what the challenge is? I now want you to present to us how you plan to meet this challenge. Who's going to present?
I'll be presenting, thanks.
Would you? Please, Graham, won't you take the stand? You've got 1 minute to please present.
Kanilwe Motsuneng is an ambitious, eloquent and passionate young businesswoman who's currently completing her diploma in entrepreneurship at the University of Johannesburg. She's founded her own eventing company that has already run several successful events. Her immediate ambition is to be able to go into this business full-time from when she completes her studies at the end of this year. Longer term, she aims to conquer both the South African and African eventing industry. In terms of the team's contribution, the foundation of our work will be a business model that addresses the unique and innovative position for her business. This is really important because the eventing industry is fairly crowded and often a generic space. So finding that unique position is absolutely critical for us. They'll also be supported by a branding and marketing strategy to get that message out to target customers. We'd also love to hook her into the right network of mentors to allow her to develop her potential as she builds the business. Most importantly of all, we need to get her access to funding so that she can begin to realize her dream. Thank you.
Having understood what she is involved in events management, what do you consider to be the main deficiency in her business at this current stage?
Right now, her weakness is, she can't do two things at the moment. She has to finish her school because it's very important, because already she's on her 4th year. She has to complete that, but in the pipeline we prepare her for the future. And we will set...
By saying that, are you saying that it's not a good idea for her to venture into this business at this stage?
Right now she will do them in a small scale. She's not going to go big at the moment because she cannot do two things at the same time.
In a one-liner, if you were to define or describe her business, what would you say her business is about?
In one line.
She said to you,
dreams into reality.
Turning people's dreams into reality.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you very much. Guys, how are you?
Good, thank you.
We meet again.
That's right.
Take it you understood the challenge. Who's presenting? Mfundo. Mfundo, come up to the stage. You've got 1 minute starting from now.
Afternoon, Ezra on the board. Our team has actually understands Tabo's passion in this line of business, which is to develop a career guidance magazine for high school students. So for now, we still need to actually develop this concept or incubate it, if I may put it as such, to ensure that we've got working tools which will allow this guy to ensure that if we actually access the funding markets, at least there is a concept that is sellable.
You seem to suggest that there's no you don't have a viable concept right now, is that correct?
With current format that he would like to use, we're afraid that the business model is not viable, yes.
Why? What's wrong with that?
So he wants to sell a career guidance a magazine specifically aimed at grade 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s and 12s, but through the school system.
But do you believe that there will be sufficient critical interest in accessing this material?
I think something that came up was that it was a problem that he wanted to solve, and it came from personal experience. That there is a lack of information about career guidance in and amongst the income group that he is friends with or he operates at.
Just basically saying there's not just a nurse and a doctor and a blue-collar worker. There's radiographers, there's all sorts of job titles, and every single issue that he wants to bring out, he wants to focus on an X amount of job titles just to basically educate the people and open their spectrum of what's available.
I have a question for Paul. Sure. Given the information that you have at hand, what is the single biggest contribution you can make to his business as a team?
I think for us to educate him, to understand the requirements for investment, one key thing that has come out is that he doesn't understand his expenses, what he needs the money for, and how he's going to generate revenue. Because no investor, no sane investor, is going to invest without a solid business plan for the entrepreneur to have a full understanding of how his business works. If we can get that across, I think, to be honest, we've taught the man how to fish, and he can go fish for himself.
You need to go back and put flesh to this plan, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Guys, did you get a sense that they understood what the challenge is and that they have a plan to meet this challenge?
I think there are two dynamics that are happening. There's an inability to think outside of the brief, which is not necessarily something that you're going to prescribe. You assume that as an entrepreneur, you naturally do that. The second dynamic that is happening is lack of leadership. There's a reluctance amongst themselves because they are all accomplished entrepreneurs. There's a reluctance for someone to take the leadership and really direct the discussion and the development of the plans. And I seem to see in both teams a lack of that.
Yeah, so it's accountability. They don't want to be held accountable if there's a failure, firstly, which entrepreneurs must fail in order to succeed. And also I think they make the assumption that they need to find a way to fund the business. And it may not be a fundable venture.
It may not be a fundable venture, indeed.
We may be just setting a trap for them.
Absolutely.
To
This
see
is a challenge for them.
They can look outside of the brief.
I think not to be overly critical, I think the Green team, though, did show us a market improvement in their conversation compared to the conversation we had with the Orange team. I mean, for the first time in this task, I heard the language of entrepreneurship, them talk about interrogating the business plan, them talking about deficiencies in the plan. So there is some sense that they are starting to look at issues critically.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The judges were not entirely convinced by either team. The entrepreneurs will have to dig deep if they are to implement their ideas in the allotted time. With only a day to refine their business models, our contestants need to work cleverly to put into practice their think tank ideas. They begin the day by calling their contacts, potential business partners and advisors. But Macy had plans of her own.
Or you want to do some practicals. No, we'll appreciate that. Something that is practical. Oh, thank you. Looking forward to see you. Okay, my dear. Bye. Okay, let's go now because she wants her to do the practical. To do it practical, yes.
To do what practical?
Oh,
I'm asking.
It's up to her. She
Yeah,
knows she's in corporate and she's in recruitment.
You know what we
she
want
said she
here?
has set up some appointments with other people. So
Yeah.
So
What
time
did you set up an appointment with her?
We said 9 o'clock yesterday.
She said between 9 and 12.
So I confirmed that by 9 o'clock on the day because we've already spoken.
But you cannot confirm without consulting us. You cannot confirm alone without us. We are a team. When we first went into the brainstorm, it went crazy because Macy wanted to be a diva.
Can I just say something? I like that, but yesterday we didn't have anyone. We made an appointment.
You know what? We did not make an appointment. We did not make an appointment. It was not confirmed. It was not cast in stone.
During the brainstorming session, I've got a problem because people are still judging me with the first task. And now they want to block me. They perceive me as someone who's maybe bossy or pushy. I don't understand. Guys, I'm going to talk now, whether I like it or not. Yesterday we agreed that you also spoke to the lady. You asked her questions. That lady, we're going to confuse that child. So we're going to stick to that plan. I have to now, from now on, I think I need to be listened to.
We have a person who's going to be a strategic advisor to this guy.
Okay.
Not on a once-off basis, but on a continuous basis.
Okay.
The person I've
That's
spoken to right now is called Nivan Budai. He's from an organization called Affirmative Youth Consulting. The task that was actually bestowed upon me, becoming a team leader, is what I'm used to. Because really, I'm not a person who loves to actually lead from the front. I always love to lead from the back so that I actually assess to what are the mistakes that are committed by the team. Because as they actually execute those tasks and they make mistakes, I learn from such as well.
The Green team were having problems of their own. But unlike their neighbours, they were disagreeing in a more civilized manner.
Where are we on his terms of marketing strategy? Where are we in terms of getting him out into industry, like you were saying, so he can be exposed to the requirements? Where are we in ensuring that he understands what it takes to secure Walmart? The energy in our team, for the most part, wasn't really all cohesive. It wasn't all gelling. And I did feel when I came up with ideas, for example, the industrial theatre component. And I came up with that idea because I wanted to show that we could base whatever he wanted to do in his past experience and link it up with his passion. Is it not possible now to use his past experience to start getting that information to market, because it also proves to the client that he's going to be talking to that we can do this, because it's a medium.
His past experience has got nothing to do with the product
That is
that
my
we are
worry.
creating. I think you
Okay, let me put it this way.
Industrial theatre.
We can't talk past experience if you've not even applied what you're going to eventually addressing.
So every time I came up with that, sometimes it seemed like I was being abrasive, so I had to bring it back. I'm hearing you, gentlemen. I believe I'm hearing you.
I'm not available at 8 o'clock. You suggested 8 o'clock. She said I'm not available at 8 o'clock. She said I'll be
I never
available
suggested
from
8
9.
o'clock. I never suggested 8 o'clock. I asked her what time is she going to be available.
Please, don't be emotional.
No, I'm not being emotional. You're lying. You're saying I suggested 8 o'clock. You're lying. For the first time, I got aggressive because I really couldn't handle her attitude and her thinking that she knows it all. And honestly speaking, I had to really put my foot down. You know what? You are wasting time. Can you just keep quiet for 2 minutes? We discuss, all of us. Graham, come up with a point, please.
I've got a lovely idea to drive this girl's business forward. She's a student. There's corporates. There's a massive gap in corporates in recruitment of the right kind of employee, right?
Yeah.
I know, as someone who's been trying to recruit, that I had to go through 20 one-hour interviews to find one good person. The concept is, as a student, she can bring together a group of students and a group of corporates and create a corporate speed dating service.
The Orange team have come up with a recruitment service to bring students and the corporate world together in a speed dating event. The Green team have come up with nothing. Ezra and Vanna decide to step in.
Hi, Ezra.
There you go.
How are we doing? Stressing out.
Really?
Oh.
Why? What's happening?
I'm not so sure.
What's happening? I don't know. I think we've got some good developments. We've got some artwork in connection with the brand, if you would like to have a look at it.
No, I don't want to see the artwork. Tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
Are you guys executing on the task?
Yes.
How?
We took a lot of time. We took a lot of time to get to a point where we should have been like ages ago. And I think it really came to the bit where the characters were playing their own individual parts as opposed to looking at the whole team.
We've actually engaged the services of an organization called, what are they called? But there's Naveen, yeah.
There's been from developing Duba
Affirmative Youth Consulting. So we actually engaged the agency.
That's support. Didn't ask you to come up with support. I want you to work out what the business model is, how he's going to make money, whether this is a commercially viable idea. Can this be commercialized? If indeed, and how so?
After a short breather to let the blood cool, the Orange team tries to get things back on track, but the damage is not easily undone.
Now we're going to start with Graham's idea because we've wasted an hour dealing with egos and awards and everything. Now, after this, we'll go to your lady.
The team decides to split up. Sebenzile stays behind to do research. Graham and Lebahang set off for their meeting with the recruitment specialist Lizelle. Macy, not wanting to be left behind, speeds off and in fact arrives early.
Where are they? Unless if they're doing this deliberately to frustrate me. As a team, we need to make sure that we keep in touch with one another. Is your phone off, Graham? I've been calling you throughout. We didn't know the address. Really? Okay. Can I know? Our car is empty there.
Then a surprise as Ezra pays the team a visit. Followed shortly by his right-hand man, Vanna.
Can I introduce you to Liesel Metz, Ezra?
Nice to meet you, Ezra.
And
Nice to meet you,
Liesel's view was that a recruiter would be willing to pay 50 to 100,000 rand for a half-day event, just on the opportunity to meet a few top candidates.
You don't have to know the specifics of what you're going to charge. I don't expect you to know that at this stage. But at least have an idea as to, okay, so I can charge, and by doing benchmark, which you guys need to assist her with, you do benchmark in terms of what are the going rates out there. If I do this step, what is the cost attached to this? If I do that, what's the cost attached to this? And in so doing, you're able to come up with a business model to say, oh, okay, so I need to charge the market 10 rands. And out of that 10 rands, I'm going to make 2 rands. You know what I mean? So you need to crystallize it to that.
Okay, guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for welcoming us.
Pleasure.
Truly appreciate it.
Working in a team and dealing with difficult situations and personalities isn't easy, and although the business model is looking good, the emotions of the morning's disagreement begin to surface.
You know why you love education, you love teaching, you love giving back. It's what you were taught when you were young. You said your father would take an afternoon off to take you to a library to teach you something. You see, your father planted a seed of education, of learning, you understand? And that is good foundation. And today, your father is going to be very proud about that initiative. He was doing it, spending time with his son and making sure that you read, you learn, and look at it today. I know you're an emotional man.
Me emotional.
I mean, really, man. That's what fathers are supposed to do. And your father did a great job. He taught you, you know? The experiences that he had, I had exactly the same experiences, except that my father was not taking me to the library. His father was taking me to the library, and then Graham got so emotional. Graham is a good guy. He's got a very good heart, and he's soft, you know?
He's a salesman, so he knows how to tug on heartstrings. And I think he meant it from the heart, but he was talking about how my dad had brought me up and how that had brought me to this point in my life. And something about the way that he said it really just tugged on my heartstrings.
He got emotional, and we laughed about it, and you know, but Graham is a great chap.
After a frustrating day in the think tank, Abongile suggested that the guys get out of the office in an attempt to change the dynamics of the task.
No, that's what I suggest. Let's just
Eventually, all of this has to meet the real world.
We're going to speak to the pupils in Alexandra.
Up until that point, it was, and with my team, the energy just was looking strange or funny from my perspective. And then it was like I'm like the black sheep of the family or something, because I'm stressed out or saying I'm frustrated, you know, that kind of thing. Because really, every time I had to keep us bringing back to principle. Are we on target with this? Are we talking the right language here? Is this what we're trying to do? And for the most part, I think I was being viewed as if I'm trying to pull the guys off track versus trying to check whether we're on the right goal. But once we had something for Paul to sink his teeth in, then he was happy. When Sean had something to sink his teeth in, then things went all right.
So basically what we're doing now is we're doing a fundamental practice that every single market strategy should include, is market research.
Sure.
And where do you currently get your information from when it comes to your future?
The school has organized something for us. Maybe colleges will come and talk with us and advise us.
Do you think it would be better to have it as a magazine or something on Mixit?
Mix it.
Mix it, really?
Yeah, we prefer typing than reading.
The task is over. The green team return more energized and focused. The orange team has resolved their conflict and have come up with an innovative plan for Keneilwear.
The two teams are brainstorming away in the think tanks behind me. Now, they have to assess the needs of their young entrepreneurs, and they have to come up with a really hot strategy for potential investors and present their ideas to the board.
The exciting part was about the idea of assisting somebody who has a dream to be able to take it to a realistic point, or realizing it as a business.
I thought we had like I said, we got a solid concept, and I thought it had been logically put together. So it was really just about getting that across clearly to the judges.
Time is up. They've burnt up the phone lines, they've pounded the pavements, but have they done enough?
The contestants and the young entrepreneurs anxiously await the arrival of Ezra felt teams could learn something from watching each other's presentations. Paul from the green team was up first.
The purpose of this presentation is to describe how the Greenhouse Consultancy assisted our client Eardrum Productions from concept to being ready for funding. Eardrum Production consists of Thabo and 4 other passionate Wits graduates who have the aspiration to grow into a media house. Thabo came into offices with a desire to help high school learners make decisions regarding their career and wanted to solve it by creating their first product, a personal career guidance magazine aimed at assisting grade 9 to 12s in making informed decisions about their careers at a critical point in time. The internet has been a disruptive force in many industries, especially that of traditional print. The efficiency and effectiveness of creating and distributing content digitally has led to lower costs, and as a result, most forms of traditional print media are making their way onto the digital platforms. The resources required to start a magazine and the lack thereof within Talbot's team, a digital approach seemed most appropriate. And a final nail in the coffin, a discussion with learners in Alexandria led us to believe that a digital distribution, especially through the Mixed mobile social network, would be favorably received. Mixed is South Africa's largest mobile social network, and 36% of their user base is between the ages of 11 and 18.
Paul, he was brilliant. I really haven't seen him stand up and give a presentation, but I think he was really good in putting it across. But still, we would have benefited if we could have really been a little bit more cohesive from the word go.
What makes your offering unique?
Unique?
Yes, from everything else that's available, and what's going to make it accessible to your target market?
Well, accessibility, if you're talking about accessibility, the uniqueness is the Mixit platform. Mixit have done the hard work of making it available through thousands of phones, and so by leveraging off of that, it becomes accessible to the person on the street.
I'd also like to add, we're going to offer this information in English and in Zulu and in Sotho, in vernacular languages, so it's not just necessarily English. They can actually get in their own home language that they understand it in, and that's what's unique about this specific career guidance.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. You know, I only started speaking English when I was in my 20s, because I was taught in vernacular for most of my life.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Thabo. The orange team now to come and prepare and present, please. Let's go for it.
Good morning, Ezra and the board. We have a task to create a business development strategy for an eventing company for Guinea-Lo Motsweneng. As the orange team, we have to create a unique event company that will connect students and the corporate companies. Our plan is to create a full business model which will include the branding and the marketing and the financial plan to bring the concept to life. Hence, we present to you, ladies and gentlemen, flash jobs. Quick, quality, graduate connections. Our presentation went okay, not so great because I was a bit nervous because the judges, you know, it was like really presenting for the 5 million rand. It was not easy, it was really tough, you know, but I managed to pull myself together, went on, and that really caused a lot of stress for me today. This flash job is a unique eventing solution that will improve the recruitment process. This process, it will be a one-day event for 100 students with 12 employers. Flash jobs will filter, coach, and present these students to the right employers.
Let me see if I understand this. So this is almost like fast dating, is that correct?
Yes.
So it would be like you bringing an employer and a potential employee for 15 minutes and see if there's chemistry.
Yes.
Okay, in all of that. You're talking about including as a package mentorship and coaching. Where's the time for that?
So when we spoke to people about the concept, they said the 15 minutes idea is fantastic, but they need their key problem is to get the highest quality graduates. So there's a build-up process before the event, which would take potentially a month or 2 months, where you would identify the best possible graduates, apply various screening criteria to them, coach them and develop them, and then deliver this high-quality product to the customer.
Has this met your brief?
Yes, it has. It has in a lot of sense, because in terms of the event coordinating part, it will be my job to create the event itself in the way I feel best suited for the clients, which is the employers from all these companies, and for the students. Having an event where I can bring the two together in a sense whereby I have control over how professional I make it, how sociable I make it. So in a sense, I'll be getting like I'll be doing what initially I want to do, which is events coordinating.
And you're happy with
I'm
that?
very, very happy. And I'm very excited about it.
Well done to both teams.
Yep.
I think you're going to give us some time to deliberate now. Guys, let's just look at the green team. I personally think that they've met the brief. I was very excited with the offering. What do you think?
I think the greenhouse consultancy just nailed the task, because we have in front of us a full document that lays out what the strategy is to make this a workable business idea. I mean, the whole concept of taking this to mix it and making it a freemium offering, I think would add excitement into giving this business some legs.
One thing particularly stands out is the fact that they moved from a print strategy to a digital media strategy, which I think is brilliant. So I believe they did really well.
And then the orange team, your sense of the orange team, because I thought that was that was absolutely creative of them to move from throwing parties to having meaningful events. What were your thoughts?
That was brilliant. I think moving away from a pure event management, sort of generic event management
As we
company
know it,
to a recruitment event company was brilliant. I really liked the idea.
I think this is where the career compass would come in, actually. Here you have two ideas that seem, they could possibly work hand in hand in a sort of more complementary way.
Yes,
I don't know if
absolutely.
this is, when you were given the task, this is how you intended this to be, but
not at all.
I think these are complementary ideas.
And what I like
customers.
with both plans is that they've applied themselves in identifying what's not being currently done.
That was absolutely innovative from both guys. I think both teams have done well. I'm very excited about that.
Ezra and Verna will head to the soundproof review room and brief the other judges on the action of the last 2 days. The entrepreneurs can watch the presentation, but they have no idea what the judges are saying. They'll have to wait until the review is over to find out what the board is thinking.
Food for thought.
Guys? What do you think?
The only person that's stepping up to the plate is Abongile in my mind. The rest of the guys are not performing in terms of their potential, especially Mfondu, he's got massive potential, and I'm not seeing his leadership coming through. I'm not seeing his innovation, his creativity, and his ability to get the team riled up to deliver.
He's a candidate for someone who needs to account for some of his actions, or inaction, playing it safe in the shadows.
There seems to be a difficulty for them to separate themselves from wanting to win and bringing their experience to get the team to exhibit the best performance. And you see that in the various characters.
I also want us to be cautious that we don't label Macy as too dramatic without really considering the fact that maybe that's how she expresses herself in a team dynamic. She's an entrepreneur. She made it this far for a reason.
I think what stands out is the fact that she does not take cognizance in all instances of other people's opinions. So once she's made up her mind, she's very stubborn and she's sort of blinded by the other opportunities that are out there. And it takes quite a bit of time for the team to convince her otherwise, especially what we saw on Friday. Well, I think you can be stubborn if you know you're 100% right, but she's not.
Her personality is absolutely the correct personality for an entrepreneur, but I think she would be far more effective if she was able to listen to advice and take feedback from other people.
Yeah, all right. I think we've made a decision. Shall we go and tell them?
I wasn't really feeling confident. However, at least I was feeling like both teams were on par at that stage. So,
as we normally do, we identify the best performing individual, we identify the best performing team, and of course we call forward the two people that would be up for review. Unfortunately, one of them is going to leave the show. If you're not demonstrating your entrepreneurial capacity, simple, you are out. Are we clear on that one, guys?
Yes, sir.
We first start by congratulating the team that did well. Challenge that you were faced with, challenge of developing a strategy for your business, being able to come up with a funding model. You started by showing a traditional way of thinking, as entrepreneurs do, wanting to play in your comfort zone. However, I was very pleased with the product that both teams came out with. The best performing team, given that you both have come up with out-of-the-box creative thinking, and of course, I mean, you've applied yourself. Congratulations to the green team.
When the team was actually called for as a winning team, really, it was a great surprise, because when we finished our task and the other team is presented, I said to the guys, this is surely going to be a tie, because both teams have actually come up with strong cases to present before the board.
Yeah, so when the green team was called out, I was obviously disappointed. I thought we had a great concept and we put it together pretty well. You know, Ezra said it was very close. I would have loved to have won.
And the person that really showcased what it takes to be a team player, a person that really stood back, took his thinking cap or his professional cap and put it aside and started engaging neutrally for the benefit of the team, which actually you're supposed to do as an entrepreneur. The problem with many entrepreneurs is that sometimes you fall too much in love with your own industry and your own ideas that you're not willing to open up to other people's ideas. This individual showcased that that wasn't the case, and I was very pleased to see that. That's what I expect of you. That's what the world expects of you. And for you to succeed as an entrepreneur, you would have to display more of that. Congratulations to Abongile. You are our blue chip. You are our blue chip. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Oh, brilliant.
Well done to you. Well done. Well done. After the break, I will call the two people that would be up for review. Unfortunately, one of them would have to leave the show. As you know, guys, there are two people that usually up for review, two people that have not demonstrated their entrepreneurial capacity enough during your attempts to addressing this particular challenge. And those people are, Mfundo, please come forward.
When my name was actually called out during for review, to be honest with you, from early this morning, that is what I was expecting. I knew that I was going to be called up for review today, and to be frank with you, I was expecting to pack my bags and go.
It worries me that I have to call you for review when I know that you have huge potential, like all of these entrepreneurs. But I'm disappointed because you have not so far demonstrated to us your entrepreneurial capacity. And the next person is Macy.
When my name was called up that I'm going home, I was waiting for that. I was ready. There was nothing I could do. As I still repeat that, this is the Macy that I brought here. I've been through a lot of competitions with the very same personality. And I failed in other competitions. I succeeded in many. So I don't regret who I am. I'm happy with what I am. I've achieved so many things with this personality. And I can see that even out there, I'm still going to make it. I'm going to be big.
Macy, this is the second time that you are up for review. Concerns me. Concerns me a great deal. I'm now going to give you 30 seconds for you to tell us as a board why you're not supposed to go home. Fundo, go.
I think my role was to ensure that there's sustenance in our intervention. As such, I ensure that we actually secure access to government grant and also long-term mentorship for the actually guy that we're actually helping, which is Chabo.
Okay. Macy,
I think
you've got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
I think I'm being perceived very wrong with my personality, and I'm being denied, and I'm pushing to make a point. I won't give up as an entrepreneur. If I want to make a point, I'll make it a point that I put it, whether they take it or not. This is a competition, I know, but I'll push harder to make sure that whatever I want to say, if given a chance again. But I'm not going to change anything about my personality unless if I mold some small things. But this is who I am, and there's nothing I can do.
Got you. Let's confirm, guys. I think it's changed. you. Fundo, you have disappointed me. But you catch the break. We will see you in our next challenge. Macy, you disappointed me, but your team saved you. You catch a break. We will see you in the next challenge. Both teams have done so well that they have made up for your flaws. In the next challenge, I expect to see a lot more of you in a constructive way, in a way that will contribute towards the success of the teams. Well done to the teams for turning it around and for showing what it takes to be an entrepreneur. You did well.
Congratulations to the blue chips. Fantastic. How does it feel?
Well, I mean, it's great. It must be great, but you know, having a team that you actually work with and you're able to pull back and be able to actually constructively input without having to be overbearing on what people are thinking and wanting to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that helps a lot.
What do you think it is this time around that got you noticed by Ezra and the board?
Well, I think at first the tasks seem to point as if it were my field. And obviously immediately I would be the one trying to tell everybody which way to go, what to do, and so on. But instead my focus was getting the team saying, all right, this is the target audience that is looking at. This is where we want to look at. What medium can we use instead of pushing my own medium into that space.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yay. Congratulations. You've got lots of supporters, and I know that your guys in the Eastern Cape are rooting for you.
I don't doubt it.
No, I'm not going to leave. That's why I'm saying all the challenges that come in different forms and shapes, they build me. And this is another part of me that I've seen that, Macy, you can persevere. You can take all the heat. You can, you can work with people even if they don't want you. All I know is that I'm forgiving and I respect people and I'm going to work with them and I love them. I'm still going to play the game with them.